ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Oh my God, Clark is the best. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. This is Jay Cartelli. If you're new here, welcome in. If you're returning, hey man, thanks for coming back. Hey, today we're talking about the state of the economy and how things are in the real world. Um, if the economy has you crashing out like old Clark here, if you feel kind of the same way, then don't, you're not alone.
It is over, gone, and forgotten. Can somebody explain to me in crayon eating terms why I make over 3 times the federal minimum wage and I cannot afford to live? And I do not want to hear the pull yourself up from your bootstraps, work 90 hours a week. That's not the goal, guys. That's not. That should not be our standard. I am so fucking tired of people being complacent with this uniparty, both of them fucking us over. When my parents were my age, they both made less than half of what I make, and they lived alone. I cannot afford to live anywhere alone. A 1-bedroom apartment, $1,800. 2-bedroom apartment, $2,200. Who the fuck can afford that? It is.
That's true. According to Zillow and some other sources out there, that the cost of rent, the average, across America is $1,900 or a little over $1,900 just a month for the cost of rent, which is insane. Because when I first started out life in the 80s, yeah, the cost of living was a little bit cheaper, but we still had moderate to high inflation back then, going through the 80s. But the cost of living wasn't as high, right? So I mean, for my example, I paid when I first started out $220 a month for a house on a lake. Okay, it was a cottage on the lake, right? Waterfront. All right, a cottage. It was a 2-bedroom or single bath, and I mean, it wasn't much. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but $220 a month, that covered everything for the most part. The bills were super cheap. I mean, my electric alone, $20, $25, a month. We heated with propane, which we filled the tank once a year. It was nothing. It's 100 and maybe 125, 50, 175, something like that. It wasn't hardly anything, right? Food was very cheap. So it's a big difference between his generation and my generation. So I do feel for this generation. I truly do, because it just seems like they've gotten the shaft, so to speak. But anyways, let him finish here.
It is embarrassing to come out and say that it is a struggle to survive right now. But I know so many people are struggling. And do not get me started on what my grandparents were doing. They $3,000 house. And yes, I understand inflation and all of the bullshit that they have been pulling with the Fed. Why are we allowing it? Why? And then I clock out of my shift. I am tired. I have to go home. And I check the news. Another 60 fucking billion to a country nobody can point out on a map. What are we doing? Where has the plot gone? We have lost it, folks. We have fucking lost it.
To tell me that they're living paycheck to paycheck and putting themselves into credit card debt out of necessity, not because of fun. I am 28 years old. I work a decent paying job. I love my job. I make good income. We have no kids, me and my fiance, and we're still barely scraping by. Our bills are paid, but we can't save any money. We can't go on vacation. I mean, we do little things here and there, but realistically, we don't really do anything. And we still live paycheck to paycheck, okay? I don't understand how people with kids are doing this. props to y'all. I mean, seriously, the utmost respect, because I feel like I'm drowning and I only have cats. Any money that we're able to save ends up getting spent on the car, or the cat has to go to the vet, or one of us has a medical emergency. Like, it's just gone. It's gone. I don't understand. We don't live beyond our means. Are we all just collectively putting ourselves into debt because I don't know what else to do?
I can't afford to live here anymore. I can't afford to live here anymore. I just spent 6 hours of my life serving tables, running around to make $50. To make $50. And I already know the comments are going to be like, well, get a better job. I'm trying. I moved here 3 weeks ago. I've sent out over 100 resumes. I've had one interview. I didn't get the job. I knew I blew it. I did not get the job. I'm trying. The only reason why I got a server job is to make some money while I'm trying to get my big girl job again, so I can get checks that actually matter. You know, so I can make money I can actually live off of. But nobody calls. Nobody's calling for these jobs. You know, Indeed is, we're hiring. Or where? Okay, because I sent my resume and I can't afford anything. Okay, I live with my son and his roommates right now, and I'm very thankful for that, but I need my own place and I can't afford it. I can't afford anything. I cannot afford to live here anymore. And I can't take my own life. You know, so like, what am I supposed to do?
Living in America is exhausting. You wake up tired, you go to work tired, you come home, barely surviving, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home, and you're still fucking broke. Every single month, rent's due, rent is through the roof, groceries are double what they used to be just 2 years ago. You go to the gas pump to fill up your car and it's like you paid another car note. Everything, and I mean everything, is up in price. But your paycheck, still the same. And once inflation gets done with it, it's probably even a little less. Yet somehow, they keep telling us, just budget a little bit more. Just work a little bit harder. Like, I'm sorry, how many jobs do I need now? 4? 5? 7? That's not living. That's barely surviving.
The cost of living in this country is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently unsustainable. And there are people that they know this, but then they'll still look at somebody else that's struggling and then tell them they're not doing good enough. I want you to imagine somebody that makes $75,000 a year. That's a pretty high up wage in terms of like top earners in this country, $75,000 a year. And we're going to go through some things here. This is a person with no debt outside of a car, and please don't hit me with the, you can go buy a car for, shut up, you can't, shut up, stop saying ridiculous things. An entry-level decent car is $30,000. So this person who puts $200 a month into insurance, and they pay 5% into their 401k, because shut up, people should be able to put money into their retirement. Because if you're not doing it now, you're never going to get to start doing it later. So after those two things come out of their paycheck, and their taxes are paid, they bring home $53,850 a year from a $75,000 paycheck. Average rent in my state for a one-bedroom apartment, because an adult should be able to live by themselves, $1,700. That car payment at 6% for an entry-level, very reasonable sedan, nothing fancy, that car payment's $579 a month. Car insurance, $240 or so a month for a lot of vehicles in this day and age. You're a young person, you've got a nice job, but the insurance companies still want to screw you over. Food. You only cook at home. You never, ever go out. You only cook at home, and you only eat decent quality food, because a human being should be allowed to eat decent quality food. You pay $879 a month for that. You spend $250 a month in gas. You wear and tear on your car $100 a month. $80 for your phone, $80 for your internet, $175 a month for your electricity, $70 for your water, $20 for your cash. You make $75,000 a year, and outside of a car payment, you have zero debt. Do you know how much money you have left over annually at a $75,000 wage? You do nothing. You don't own a Netflix. You don't go out on a date. You don't pay to go to a park. You don't go watch a movie. You do nothing. If you can't find it on the internet for free, you don't get to do it. If you can't cook it at home for your $800, you don't get to do it. you have $3,700 left over annually. That's like $320 a month. And there's going to be, well, that's 300. Shut up. Shut your stupid, contrarian, edgelord mouth. That's not a doctor bill, because God knows just because we have insurance doesn't mean that we don't still pay far out the ass when we go to the doctors. People like to be entertained. They want to date. They want to. There's those of you out there that will tell somebody living like this on $75,000 a year before taxes that they are not doing what they're supposed to do, that they should get a second job, that they should get a side hustle, that they should get a better job. And the fact that you would look at somebody with no debt other than a car and say something like this to them means objectively you're a moron and you live in a fantasy world.
Living in America right now feels like a punishment. You wake up already behind, you go to work just to stay broke, and you watch the cost of everything rise while your paycheck doesn't move an inch. Groceries are a luxury, rent is robbery, healthcare is a joke, and somehow we're the ones blamed for not budgeting better. People are working 2-3 jobs and still choosing between food or gas. Families are crammed into apartments because buying a house became a fantasy. You can't afford to get sick, you can't afford to rest, you can't afford to exist. But they keep telling us the economy's strong. Strong for who? Because it sure as hell isn't the people doing the work. We're out here treading water while billionaires build rockets, politicians trade stocks, and corporations raise prices just because they can. We were promised opportunity, we got survival. And what makes this worse is watching people blame themselves. Like somehow you failed because you can't afford a one-bedroom anymore. Like you didn't do enough, when the truth is the math just stopped adding up years ago. They told us to work harder, but never told us they'd change the finish line. This isn't a country full of lazy people. It's a country full of exhausted ones. Simple as that.
In today's economy, do you think a couple that brings home $100,000 is enough to support a small family of like 3 to 4 people? I asked this because I made a post yesterday about how Americans are really struggling, and it was really sad and eye-opening to me to see the amount of people who said, I make 6 figures now, yet we're still struggling. And I don't mean is it enough to buy like luxuries. I just mean is $100,000 enough to live comfortably without having to live paycheck to paycheck. I remember like 12 years ago, my mom told me about this couple I knew who were making like a combined.
What she's got to say is facts, because me and my wife was working and we made, I remember the most that we've ever made, ever in our life. And you thought, man, this should be great. Celebrate. Oh man, we're making tons of money. But I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I looked at her and I said, this is the most money we've ever made in our life, but I feel the brokest I've ever felt. And that's coming from yours truly. So I know from experience, and this has happened to me when, she got to pay a raise, I got to pay a raise. We both had really good jobs, and we were doing great. I mean, life was good, but yet it wasn't at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, it was a weird feeling because we're like, man, we should be on top of the world right now. But no, not at all. So that's true. And, take my son for granted. My son, electrical engineer, got a great degree, worked his ass off, put himself through college, paid his own way. Good kid, good hardworking kid. Did it all on himself. I mean, just dedicated, right? Right out of college, got snapped up, got a great job, making really good money, and he can't even afford a house for him and his family. I mean, they're struggling. I mean, they're getting by, but it's not easy. He still got to rent. He's still renting. Okay, renting. And he's on my cell phone plan because my plan is cheaper, right? So he's on my plan because trying to save money. And he's an electrical engineer. Okay, think about it. Really good money. He's got a really good job. I mean, they make good money, and they still can't really afford a house because of the price of housing. And the median house, price of medium house in the country, I mean, it's like almost $400,000 now. A payment on a payment on that at the interest rate right now is like 6.3 something percent. I think it's 6.3% right now, or 6.4%, something like that. And if a $400,000 house with that interest rate, with your PMI and your insurance, that's a $3,400 a month payment. That's $3,400 a month just for one payment on a $400,000 home for 30-year fix. Not to mention the rest of the bills. You're right? Your other insurances and your car insurance and your food and your electric, your light, your gas, your cable, and all the other, medical, everything else that rolls into it. So what would you have to make in a month? What would you have to make in a month to afford all that? You're going to spend $5,000 a month just in bills, or close to it, because you're already at $3,500 for your house payment, and then you add in your car. Now, just a basic car, what do you got? $500, $600, $700 payments? At what, 5.5% interest, 6%, whatever the rate is at the time. So what is that? You're over you're, like I said, if it's $600, $700, $800, but you're 40, 43, 4,400. And then you got to put your gas and the rest of your bills in there. You're 5,000. You're over 5,000 a month, right? Think about it. What's 5,000? Think about 5,000 a month on all your bills for 12 months. What do you have to make? And that's just to break even. I mean, I'm not even adding everything up, right? I'm not even adding everything up, guys. All right? You're 65,000, 70,000, 75,000 a year just for that, with nothing extra. So $100,000 a year, a six-figure income, used to be, 15, 20 years ago, that was a flex. That was a flex, right? Oh man, I make six, dude, bro, I'm making six figures. Man, I'm rolling, baby. Come on, what you want? What you need? Daddy Warbuck got you. We got you. Six figure. It's a flex. Ain't no flex no more. It ain't no flex no more. Sorry, it's not a flex. Oh, I make six figures. Yeah, that's poverty. Well, I mean, it's not poverty, but you know what I'm saying. It's close. It's getting there. It's getting there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. What are we talking about? Let's get real. Yeah. Anyways, I digress. All right. Back to the video.
Hi guys.
Hey.
I'm really stressed today.
I feel you.
I just went to the grocery store, bought 10 items, and it was $80 freaking dollars. I literally have $10 left in my account. The fuck? So a little backstory. I got laid off from my job a month ago. And I've been applying for jobs months before I got laid off. Sent out hundreds of resumes already. Applied to hundreds of jobs on the internet, remote and on-site. Tailored my resume to every position that I applied using
I got a video about that too.
Went to only a few interviews and still nothing. Like, what the fuck is going on with America right now? Like, it's so freaking hard to live here. Like, I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna keep applying for jobs. I'm gonna keep showing up. But man, my bills are not going to wait.
That's a fact. I got some videos on there I'll link as well. And I'm going to be making another video about that too, about expats. They're coming up here soon, so stay tuned for that. About people that are, leaving America and trying to find life elsewhere, which, grass is always greener, but not necessarily. But anyways, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy.
$15 an hour is not a living wage. Okay? I live in a state where the cost of living is significantly lower than the rest of the country. Okay? And I don't have money for anything. Okay? I make $15 an hour and I'm broke. It's not a living wage. It's not. Not with rent, car payment, gas, electric, fuel, gas, okay, internet, phone, your streaming services. Most of the time, I don't have money left over to buy basic necessities. I don't. I have to break up my payments and my bills just so I don't overdraw every week.
How's everybody surviving? I get paid bi-weekly and we are a family of 4. We have 2 kids. How are y'all surviving? Because I'm not. I got paid today and it's gone. Goes toward the mortgage, cell phone bill, gas and electric, garbage, everything gone. Between insurance, car insurance between my husband and I, everything gone. And then I have to go to the grocery store. This isn't even factoring in groceries for a family of fucking 4. So imagine how it's like every month. It's like, do we go do a big load haul of groceries or do we pay our mortgage? Like I can't do both. And my husband works 50 hours a week. I work 40 hours a week. We can't do both. So like, how are you doing it? The people that don't have kids are barely surviving. I am not surviving. And I get paid bi-weekly. And people are like, oh, getting paid bi-weekly is so much better because then when you get paid more. No, it doesn't matter because all my fucking bills get taken out at the same every month. I've tried to change it till the end of the month. It still doesn't matter. It still doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter when you have your bills taken out. Your money is fucked. Your money is gone. There's nothing you can do. You just have to fucking ride on this floating motherfucking rock and spend, $150 on 4 products at the goddamn grocery store. I can't. I literally cannot. I don't know how people do it. And unless you're rich elite, we're fucked. So I hope everybody on this floating rock fucking screams like I do. And we can all fucking scream together because I just don't collectively know how I can continue on with this, with a recession. I've lived through one recession. I physically can't do it now. And you can call me dramatic. I don't really give a fuck. I'm going to crash the fuck out. I cannot survive like this. I can't.
Americans are so broke and they don't even realize it. I always get Americans tell me, oh, but people in Mexico only make $20 a day. You can get a full meal here for $2. The metro in Mexico City costs 5 pesos, which is like 25 cents. I can go to the market right now and buy 3 kilos of mangoes for like $2. Yeah, people make less money here, but the cost of living is also lower. Americans think that everywhere is like the US. Now, check this out. Let's say you live in the US and you make $3,500 a month after taxes. I'm being generous. Rent, $2,000. Car payment, $500. Car insurance, $200. Health insurance, $200. Phone bill, $100. Wi-Fi bill, $50. Light bill, $150. Water bill, $100. What's the point of making more money if you don't get to keep any of it? Who cares if you make $4,000 a month if you don't get to keep any of it? 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and that includes half of 6-figure earners. 80% of you guys are in debt and don't own anything. And half of you guys don't even have $500 in your savings account.
That's true.
But let's call other countries poor and let's call other people poor. Living paycheck to paycheck your whole life and being in debt your whole life should be considered poverty, but it's not. And I know this is going to hurt a lot of Americans, but it's the truth. The US system wants you to spend every waking moment of your life working and paying into a system that will never benefit you. Slaving away your whole life just to be retired for a measly 10 years. At least here in Mexico, we own our things. We own our houses. We own our cars. We're not in debt. But anyways, that's a story for another day. Let me know what you guys think.
I mean, does that make you mad? Does he got a point? Yeah, I think he's got a point. What's the point of making all that money when you pay all of it into taxes, because we're taxed to death. Tax. I mean, what's the point when you're taxed to death and everything keeps increasing? You can barely clothe yourself. You can barely, buy food, and so many Americans are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, and living off debt and borrowed time. So, are you really richer for it? We live in the greatest country in the world, America. Like, that's like, do you understand what I'm saying? We have all the opportunities. We have all the luxuries. We have everything. It's freaking America, dude. And yet, this is how we're living. Something's wrong. The system's broken. Or at least it's not working for a lot of people. I mean, it may be working for some. You have a very select few out there that are doing pretty good. They're doing okay for themselves. But there's a whole lot more, and I mean millions more, that aren't. So, the American dream. Anyway, that's going to end the video, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming back and hanging out. And if you liked the video, if you learned something, if you appreciate it, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Consider subscribing. Helps the small channel like mine grow. We're trying to, become larger and reach more people, and share the information. But with that being said, guys, take care of yourselves. I appreciate you. Much love. Peace out, guys. All right, till the next time.